into Boston on behalf of Boston Children's Hospital's Miles for Miracles, which raises money to help sick children. Clancy says his decision to run was inspired by the memories of his young daughter and 2 young sons. Police say their mother, Lindsay Clancy, strangled the children in January of last year before attempting to take her own life by jumping out of a window. She is facing murder charges. Her lawyers say Lindsay Clancy had been suffering from postpartum depression.
What up, everyone? I'm Heatfire, and today I'm gonna talk about a woman who ended up killing her 3 children, and she's blaming it on postpartum depression. Now, I don't know much about postpartum depression, but I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't lead you to murdering your own children. I will be reading 2 articles. One is actually from the New York Post. It was published January 31st of 2023. And then I will be reading a bit of a snippet from a NBC Boston that was published January 17th of this year, 2024. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll give my thoughts and opinions at the end. And if this is your first time to my channel, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get it. The tragic story of Lindsay Clancy, the Massachusetts mother charged with killing her 3 young children last week, has cast a spotlight on postpartum psychosis, a little discussed condition that experts say is often compounded by shame and guilt. Women who have a baby are expected in our society to love that baby immediately. Dr. Philip Resnick, a professor of psychiatry at Case Western Reserve University, explained to NBC Boston this week. If someone has postpartum depression or postpartum psychosis, they may not feel the natural maternal feelings. Then they feel guilty and are reluctant to even tell their husband or their obstetrician or pediatrician about their feelings. Clancy, 32, of Duxbury, was hospitalized in police custody on January 25th after she allegedly strangled her daughter Cora, 5, and son Dawson, 3, and left her infant severely injured before attempting to take her own life. She is facing additional charges after baby Kaylin, 8 months, was pronounced dead at Boston's Children's Hospital 2 days later. Prior to the tragedy, Clancy, who was on leave from her job as a labor and delivery nurse at Massachusetts General Hospital, had shared on social media about her struggles with anxiety and new motherhood. NBC Boston previously reported that Clancy suffered from postpartum depression, though her family members did not respond to the questions as to whether she was also dealt with psychosis. What is postpartum psychosis? According to the Cleveland Clinic, postpartum psychosis, or PPP, is a rare, treatable, but severe mental health condition that can affect individuals after they give birth. Symptoms can include hallucinations and delusions, as well as mood changes, depersonalization, and agitation. They'll have hallucinations where the baby faces isn't their baby anymore. Kaylin Chafin, a licensed mental health counselor with prenatal mental health, told KXLY of hallucinations experienced by some PPP patients. Someone with PPP will be like, "This isn't my baby. Someone has taken my baby," or the baby's face turns into the face of their mother or someone else they know. While those who have a history of mental health conditions like bipolar syndrome or major depressive disorder are at increased risk for PPP, the Cleveland Clinic also outlines other risk factors like sleep deprivation or hormonal changes. Unlike postpartum depression, which is Postpartum Support International report affects about 15% of women, PPP is more rare and generally impacts about 1% to 2% of births.
Emotional, and he was so emotional as he crossed the finish line. He had tears in his eyes as he crossed the finish line. Obviously, this coming just over a year after all of this happen, this tragedy in his family. Now we'll show you the moments after he crossed the finish line here on Boylston Street as he was emotional. It is his first marathon, and he says it was therapeutic for him. Now he raised all of that money for Boston Children's, the hospital that treated his youngest son, but sadly none of his 3 children survived. His wife is charged in their deaths. They were all under the age of 5, and today he ran to honor them.
I loved my kids. They're wonderful people. They had a lot of friends. Everybody loved them. And they had short lives, but they had really good lives.
And it is so clear how much Patrick Clancy loved his children. But again, he said he wanted to run his first marathon as a sort of therapy. And as he came those 26 miles, he said that along the sidelines, everyone was cheering his name, although his name was not on his bib. So a lot of people know who he is. A lot of people are there to support him. He also had the support of his 3 kids. He had his daughter's bow on him and a bracelet and an armband from his 2 sons. So they were right there with him as he crossed the finish line today.
New evidence is expected to be discussed Wednesday in the case of Lindsay Clancy, the mother accused of killing her 3 young children last year at their Duxbury, Massachusetts home. Clancy pleaded not guilty to strangling her children back in January of 2023. She survived slitting her own wrist and neck and jumped out of a window, prosecutors have said. At an October court appearance from Tewkesbury Hospital, she remained paralyzed from suicide attempts. Her husband, Patrick Clancy, was out of the house at the time the children were strangled, allegedly in a calculated attempt to buy time for the killings. Prosecutors have said Lindsay Clancy tied exercise bands around their children's necks. Her lawyer blames postpartum depression for the crimes and said she is overmedicated at the time. Clancy was held without bail and is currently being treated at a mental health facility. All right, so those are the articles. I read you guys the snippets. And I also showed you guys the videos of the father. You know, he ran that marathon. He did a GoFundMe. He raised money for the hospital. And here's my take on it. All right. So Lindsay, she didn't want to be a mom anymore. First off, she really wanted an excuse to kill her kids, and she blamed it on postpartum depression. Now, I may not be a genius, but I know that you don't need an excuse to kill someone. All right, if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna do it. And she already had 3 attempts to take her own life, and she failed at that. She slits her own wrists, and then she slits her throat, and then she jumps out of a window. That takes way too much energy to even go through those 2 things and then jump out of a window. She's a coward. You know, she really wanted to get rid of those kids, and she didn't want to be a mom anymore. She could have easily went to her husband and said, hey, you know what? I don't want to be a mom anymore. I don't want this married life. Take the kids. I'm going to go and live the city girl life. Here you go. Good luck. And he would have been, devastated still, but he would have been like, all right, you know what? I got the kids. You go ahead and you do you. I'm good. We're good over here. But no, she didn't do that. Instead, she sends him off to the grocery store to buy herself some time so that she can go ahead and kill her kids. This postpartum depression bullshit, I know that women do go through it. I do understand it is a real thing. But if you're gonna have it and you're gonna feel like you're gonna kill your own kids, I don't even understand that. I know people get agitated at children. I know that people get depressed when they have kids. But for you to get so angry and want to kill them and then blame it on a mental condition such as postpartum depression, that's complete bullshit. I don't buy it. I did look at more. I won't say that. I looked at her court case. I didn't look at that, but I was doing some research, seeing if I can get some updates on her case, and I got nothing. And I don't know how much time she will get. She deserves the death penalty for this, and I really hope that she does get it. as far as the husband Patrick, I know he's devastated, and he did run that marathon, and memory of his kids, and it was therapeutic for him, as you saw in the video. And damn, it's just a really sad case of of a murder. That's basically what it is. It's just a murder. It's just a mom who didn't want to be a mom anymore, and decided to hurt her husband and take her own kids out, and failed at attempting to take her own life in this. And it's cowardice, and it's bullshit that she is blaming it on postpartum depression, just so that she can probably get less time, than what she's thinking in the first place. But hey, I'm just looking at the facts for what it is. She's a bullshit person. Not everyone deserves to be a parent. Not every woman is a mom, and this goes both ways too. Not every man is a dad. Some people just don't need to be having kids at all. All right, and I'll just say this before I close it. Leave the kids alone. If you're gonna want to take them out, give them to someone else. Let them take care of it. There was many options for her to, not even go through what she went through. She could have easily solved it, just like I stated previously, give them to the husband and take off. But no, she didn't want to do that. She just wanted to kill, and that was that. All right. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and end it there, you guys. This article really disturbed me. I thought it was bizarre that a woman would kill her own kids and then slit her wrist, and then slit her throat, and then jump out of a 2-story window. That takes a lot of energy for me. It was calculated. She should get the death penalty for sure for doing her actions. And the husband, poor guy, my heart goes out to him. But if this is your first time to my channel, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. And I will catch you guys next time. Late.